Hello, Battleforge is good. Dodge is good. Battleforge and Dodge are pretty good.
Hello guys, Feet here. Today we are talking about the Oathtakers and this new build that they are birthing, which is Battleforge and Dodge. I got inspired by a viewer, and I have been experimenting with this build for my Anatomist run. So some crazy people out there might have been doing Battleforge and Dodge for a long time. But I think with the DLC and with the new Oathtaker background, this build is really taking off. So yeah, that's kind of the build right here. That's the guy. That's how I build him. But let's talk about Oathtaker for a minute here. So Oathtaker is the new one of two background, or the new background that they added in the DLC, right? And they are really good. They are exceptionally good. Right, here they are. So Oathtakers, first of all, right, their stats are really nice. HP is high, 60, 67, I mean 60, 66. Attack is really good too, 60 to 67. Range skill we don't care about. Melee skill is not as high as some of the high-end class, but 4 to 10 is fine. Range defense is trash, but we don't care about that either. Fatigue is not the best, but it is fine. Resolve is really good, and their initiative is amazing for what they are, right? So let's compare them to some of the other ones, you know? So how about a Hedge Knight? Right, Hedge Knight is probably widely considered the king of all classes, because they have exceptional HP, very high attack, good defense, very high fatigue, okay resolve, and initiative we don't care about. Their HP is better than an Oathtaker, but I would argue that HP is not the biggest deal in the world. Once you hit a certain amount, that is enough, you don't need more. And Oathtaker can reach that just fine. Most class can reach that just fine. The attack is good, but Oathtakers are even better, right? They roll 60 to 67, not 58 to 67. So, yeah. Their defense is good. Oathtaker is almost as good. We, you know, their defense are better Oathtakers, but not by much. Other class are even better with defense. Sellswords and Advanced Snowball are even better, but defense is fixable, right? If your defense is low, there are ways to fix them. So 1 or 2 points lower is not really a big problem. Fatigue is also not the biggest deal in the world. I would argue that most classes can wear Battleforge armor and still have enough fatigue to do whatever they want, especially if you take a brownie. Right, let's see here. This guy, well, he has no fatigue star, so let's look at... have I got anyone? How about Wit here? Wit here is an Oathtaker, no star in fatigue. He's using a greatsword, right? 43 is not high at all, but late game, there are a lot of light fame armor, right? This one is only 25 fatigue. That one is 41, so if I wear this, I got like almost 60 now. That's pretty good. I consider 60 is good enough for a greatsword, and that is without brownie. You know, most class, most backgrounds can be Battleforged with brownie, even without brownie, right? You can be Battleforged too if you learn to live with low fatigue like I do. You know, I build most of my team without brownie, and I'm fine with that, right? I don't have a lot of fatigue to, you know, go around, but I do enjoy an extra perk somewhere, so there's that. There we go, no star, fine. Yeah. Depending on the builds, right? I feel like 60 fatigue is fine for a 2-hand cleaver build like this, so I'm perfectly fine with this. Alright, so how about we compare the Oathtaker to something else? What about Sellswords? I think Sellsword and Advanced Snowball, they are quite similar. Let's check. Well, Sellsword do have extra attack. I didn't realize. Alright. So 50 to 60 HP. That is way lower than a Oathtaker. Their HP start at 60 to 66, right? So you don't have to worry about low HP at all. And HP is not a problem, right? This Madison Oathtaker, he reached 97 without stars. I mean, with Colossus. For me, right, 80 fatigue, I mean 80 HP with Colossus, 80 to 100 HP with Colossus is where I'm okay with. Is what I'm okay with. More than that, you don't really need. Less than that, you're gonna have trouble. 80 is alright. 100 is very nice, but you like somewhere anywhere in between is perfect. So with Colossus, you're not gonna have too much problem getting people to about 80 HP at least, even without stars. So wait, did I just show you all that? Yeah, sure. So cell swords, right? HP low, attack is good. Decent range, but we don't care about that. Very high defense, but yeah, defense fixable. Fatigue is okay, not the best, lower than H Knight for sure, but actually better than Oathtakers. Resolve is quite bad. If you low roll your resolve and only roll 35, you're gonna have a lot of trouble fixing that. But there are arena buffs, right? Things like that. So, you know, resolve is fixable too. The initiative though is quite a bit lower than an Oathtakers. And before this, you wouldn't care about that, right? Unless you are one of those crazy people who actually like play with Dodge Battleforge even before this. So what about a an adventurous noble? How do you write adventurous? Are you kidding me? How you write adventurous? Okay, it's an E, alright. Adventurous, alright, adventurous. So, adventurous noble. Actually lower attack than cell swords. Low HP. High melee defense, very good, but range defense is trash. Range defense is just like an Oathtaker. We don't care about range defense that much though. Fatigue is, wow, fatigue is good, damn. They can roll as much fatigue as a H-Knight. Alright. The min roll is not the best, but the max roll is quite nice. The resolve is really nice, but again, the initiative is only, you know, like 100 to 110. It's fine, it's not bad at all, but no one cares about it, right? Let's go, yeah, compared to that H-Knight. H-Knight only has, they can min roll with 86. And how about Swordmaster? Swordmaster is someone that I really want to talk about here. Swordmaster can have a low initiative too. They have trash fatigue, they can have trash HP, but what they do have is exceptional amount of melee skill and defense if they roll well. That is without stars, by the way. If they have stars, it's even better. So yeah, so we have roughly compared them to all the other I consider high tier classes. H-Knight, Sword Adventurous Noble, Swordmaster. So Swordmaster is another tier on their own. They have trash HP and fatigue, but they have exceptional attack and defense. Oathtakers are basically well, let's say like somewhat on par with all the H-Knight, Adventurous Noble, and Cell Swords, right? Around the amount of attack and defense. Attack and defense is like this, somewhat the same. HP is higher than HP is above average, right? Better than Cell Swords and Adventurous Noble, lower than H-Knight. Fatigue and resolve is pretty good, but they do excel in initiative. Oh yeah, and let's compare them to assassins. Assassins, I consider them the best. The best dodge build because of how much initiative they have. But they do suffer from low HP and low fatigue. They have 120 to 125. Compare that to Oathtakers. Oathtakers, if they high roll, they can have as much as Assassin. If they low roll though, they're not as much, but still pretty good. So they are up there for sure. Above average for sure, and also their wage is quite good. Only 22 gold per day. Damn, compared to H-Knight. Hedge Knight costs you 35, yeah. Cell Swords, those are the worst. Oh, 35 too, okay. But yeah, Cell Swords are the worst because they have that event where they get greedy. So yeah, Oathtakers are really good. And because of their exceptional, well, not exceptional, but surprisingly high initiative. And also, you know, like the high HP is nice too. Yeah, high HP, high attack, defense is okay, fatigue is okay, resolve is good, initiative is quite good. Because of that, they are almost good for every build, right? If you let's see, all right, let's see what I have here. I got this man, right? He got very good attack, some decent defense, no fatigue but headstrong. Bam, we can go for Battle Forge. Just fine. Like normal Battle Forge, Berserk, Recover, things like that. Okay, wait. I didn't see that. Damn. All right. So this is okay. Let's check my team right now. I have a lot of Oathtakers because they are just that good. This man, very good attack, good decent defense, good HP. Somehow, just good HP overall. No star, still very nice. The fatigue might not seem the best, but it's fine. It's fine. They can be anything. They can still be Battle Forge, Berserk, Recover just fine here. I can go Nimble Dagger, just fine. Right, perfect. High initiative, no problem. I can go for like Battle Forge 200 with Great Sword, fine. And this one is I'm also going for another Battle Forge Orc Cleaver Duelist with the Orc Warlord potion. So just a normal Cleaver guy. Again, right? They don't need Brawny and they can still go Berserk just fine. But anyone else? Any more Oathtakers in the team? And also let's see, where are they? Here, right? And we got a tank, right? We'll talk about the tank later. So they can be anything that a Hedge Knight can be, anything a Sellsword or an Advanced Noble can be. But on top of that, they can also be fencers. They are just better than an assassin if they roll well with the initiative. So they can't roll HP and range skill star, which is perfect. We don't need those. If they have star in initiative, attack and defense, oh wow, perfect fencer right there. If they also high roll the initiative, right? If they start out with 120 initiative and 2 stars, a lot of attack and defense, like the guy from the starting Oathtaker company, perfect fencer. If they don't have initiative stars, if they have some, you know, like attack, defense, fatigue, attack, defense, resolve, something like that. Yeah, they can be some 200 just fine. Do this just fine, no problem. So they can be almost anything. But well, let's say not but on the other hand, maybe because of their very good initiative, starting initiative, we can go dodge with Battle Forge for them. Right, that's the thing that I want to talk about here today. So, what is a dodge Battle Forge build? They are basically a fatigue neutral build. Which fatigue neutral mean that you go for a brother with very low fatigue pool. Right, except for maybe 60, 70, 80, like you would like. You just go for maybe 20, 30 fatigue. Because you don't need that much. Why? Because you only attack once per turn. All you do is bam, once per turn. And each attack only costs you, well, this hammer has -3 fatigue per hit, so it doesn't count perhaps. But have I got something else? Well, what about this sword then? Right. With mastery and a 200 weapon, it usually only costs 12 fatigue to hit. And with Pathfinder, usually it only costs 2 fatigue to move. So even if you maxed out your stamina, when your turn comes, you recover 15 fatigue. You can usually just walk one tile, and then you can attack with a tuned weapon, right? So you can always just walk once, hit once. Yeah, you don't have to worry about running out of stamina or something, because every turn you recover 15, and you can walk once, hit once, or you can quick hand to a pearl weapon and hit. Right? You're not going to be able to do those fancy like secondary attack or some AoE that often. But hey, sometimes you only need to hit once per turn. So why would you want to only hit once per turn? Why would you sacrifice Berserk? Well, not a lot of trade-off. But well, I mean, normally I wouldn't do it, but there are some cases. Mainly sword masters. Sword master. Alright. So because they have such terrible HP and fatigue, right? Like, yeah, you can try to make them into a nimble guy, but then you're gonna have a nimble guy with a terrible amount of HP and they're gonna die. You can make them into a battle force guy even with brawny, but then they just still gonna be terrible. But what you can do though is to completely ignore their fatigue. Right? Let's say they start out with, I don't know, 70. You can completely ignore that. Don't care. You pump all the points into attack and defense and HP for them. So normal brother, right? Normal, say, battle force brother, they would need to get to at least 80 HP and a good amount of stamina to, you know, berserk and to hit multiple times per turn, perhaps. But well, because you are fatigue neutral, you don't need any fatigue at all. You only need sometimes 15. Right, your fatigue pool can be 15 and you will still be okay. You can do that. Because you don't need any fatigue, you can pump all your points into HP. So instead of having a sword master with low fatigue, low HP, you have a sword master with high HP. Sometimes even higher than other people because you can focus all your attention to it, right? You have a good amount of HP, and you don't care about fatigue. And on top of that, you would have an exceptional amount of attack and defense because you are sword master, right? So you sacrifice what? You sacrifice the ability to berserk and hit multiple times. You sacrifice that, you gain a tankier battle force bro with more HP than usual. You get a better guy with more attack, more defense. That's what you get. And also, this is the base stat, but they get old as the time goes. When they get old, they get even less HP, minus 10 HP, minus 10 fatigue. They become unusable in any common build. So, but for this no fatigue build, right? While the HP is so high, minus 10 is not a problem for them. They might drop down to 80, perfect. But usually they might have maybe 90 or 100. Now they go to 90, 80, fine. They go from, say, 30 fatigue down to 20 fatigue, fine. It does not matter. That's why the no fatigue build fits the swordmaster so well. So why don't other builds go for the no fatigue build? Well, it's because why would you? Why would you sacrifice your berserk to just hit once per turn, right? Because most background, they can be battle force just fine. They can be nimble just fine. Definitely with brawny, anyone can be battle forge. So why would you go battle forge and why would you go no fatigue for Oathtakers? Because they can be anything too, right? Well, it's because of their high initiative. You can squeeze in the dodge, right? It's just like that. You can squeeze in the dodge now. So they can become they can become almost like a sword master, right? The dodge will pump their defense up to the sword master level. The dodge will pump their defense beyond a brother, right? So Crispy Chicken right now, he has 34 defense. He's a conventional Battle Force brother. That is like, for a Battle Force brother, they depend on their melee defense and their armor to stay alive. Compare that to a Nimble brother, they depend on their like dodge. I mean, on their dodge first of all, and their damage reduction from Nimble to survive. Damage reduction from Nimble is not as strong as Battle Force in most cases, but because they have dodge on top, right, they become a lot stronger. Well, sometimes even stronger than Battle Force, right? Well, so we have this. This is the thing in between, right? They can still rely on their base defense. They can still rely on their armor. But on top of that, they will have the dodge to protect them even more. You do need to trade the Berserk though. You don't get to Berserk anymore. But you get a much tankier, much more survivable Battle Force, bro. More defense. So yeah, compare those two together. They might look somewhat the same, but yeah, the amount of initiative this guy have. Well, he has so low because he have brain damage, but well, this guy gonna have 35 plus whatever the dodge gives him. So how much does dodge gives you? Dodge gives you 15% of your current initiative. So if I have 100 initiative, right? I start the fight with this. This will give me what? 15. 15 more initiative, pump me up to 50 defense. That is like that 50 defense for melee Battle Force is godlike, right? But as the fight goes on, as I lose, as I fatigue out, every point of fatigue that I lose, I will lose as much initiative. So as I fatigue out, I will lose 36 more initiative. So that 101 is only gonna, as the fight goes on, will become yeah, 101 minus 36 is 65. All right, it's going to be only 65, and 65 is only, well, 15% of 65 is 9.75, right? And it rounds down to 9. It rounds down, right? But if I, like make him wear somewhat lighter armor, let's say, well, those are pretty light already. But let's say if I let them wear somewhat a bit lighter. Right now I have 104. 104 minus 39. Wait, what actually? It's the same. It doesn't matter what armor you wear actually. When you fatigue out, even if naked, even if you're naked, as you fatigue out, you will have the same amount of dodge. So try to have a few more points in initiative here. Right, let's say if I don't equip this, let's say, right? 111 minus what? 46. It's 65 also, right? Doesn't matter what you carry. Does not matter what you carry. What matters is your base initiative. Doesn't matter what you carry, what you wear. You want to have the same amount of initiative as you fatigue out. So if I try to have a few more points in initiative, let's say if I have 107, my 39, I'm gonna have, okay, gonna have 68 now. 68 is 68 is 10, right? Actually 60, if I have 67, 15% of 67 is exactly 10.05. So yeah, that's like, because it's round down, you don't want them to round you down too much, you want them to round down. Well, you don't want to lose too much, basically. Well, so yeah, I would like to get him 2 more point initiative, right? Maybe 3. 106 minus. Yeah, I would like to have him 2 more point in initiative. So as he get to level 15, he'll get 2 more point in initiative, and as he fatigue out, he will still have extra 10 defense from dodge. 10 is a lot. 10 is a lot. Yeah. So yeah, basically that's the point of the build. You sacrifice berserk, but you do gain more defense. Now, I wouldn't do this for everyone. I would not do this for everyone. I would only do this for the Oathtakers that roll well with the initiative, right? I don't mean the stars, but I mean the starting initiative. If they have 120 initiative, yep. And you know, the initiative can be used to fix his melee defense, right? So, well, his melee defense is higher than a guy with 2 stars, but this one is only a brawler. So yes, his starting start was pretty good. So if you have a guy with somewhat low melee defense, you can use the dodge build to fix him. And well, let's start up. Well, and you know what? Having dodge is not only for the melee defense. It also allows you to move quite fast. Well, I think most enemies in the game, most of their medium speeds are around 100, 110. So having about 100 initiative is not gonna make them move faster than those guys. But sometimes it's gonna help, you know. And if you don't know, if you move faster than an enemy, let's say somehow I am moving faster than an Orc Young. Let's say I, moving first, I smash an Orc Warrior who is next to me. Right, I smash them, and I wait my turn. I don't pass, I wait my turn. The Orc Young jump in and stun me. The stun only lasts for the duration of your turn. So because I waited, my stun was still going on. And but I already moved, right? I already used up my attack. The Orc Young stunned me. But because I waited, now when I pass my turn, the stun is gone. So, and next turn I move again, and I might kill the Orc Young again, and I wait my turn, and now another Orc Young stun me. But it doesn't matter because I move first, and because I waited, the stun does not matter for me. So sometimes you can be immune to a lot of effects. But also, when you move fast, right? Especially with a hammer guy, let's say. I move fast, I smash enemies. Say an Orc Warrior, I smash their armor. And then my well, maybe not my archer, but let's say my 200 cleaver, who is quite a bit slower. They can move after the hammer guy, and they can chop up the Orc Warrior, whose armor is already destroyed, right? Some of your heavier guys, right, like 200 cleaver, mace duelist, maybe great swords. They don't love armor that much. They can deal with some armor, up to maybe 200, but they don't like to deal with more than 300 armor. So that's where those fast guys come in. They smash armor first, and then these guys come in and chop up the damage armor after. Well, you can of course wait with your hammer guys if you are moving slower. I mean, you can wait with your cleaver guy if your cleaver guys are moving faster than your hammer guys. But I'm just saying, if your a heavy weapon guy are moving faster than your those are not light weapons, but yeah, let's say low armor damage weapon, then your turn could be a lot more natural, right? Let's mainly the fatigue neutral build are mainly for. I like them for the Great Hammer, Great Mace, and Great Axe the most. Those are all weapons that can smash armor really well. And if they move faster, then this guy can chop up armor after. Your turn's gonna be a lot smoother that way. That's a small bonus. So what is the downside of this build, of this dodge build and the fatigue neutral build overall? The downside is that, well, of course you don't have Berserk, but also having a low pool of fatigue. Well, 40 is not that low. Realistically, I would, 40 is not that low. Realistically, maybe 30. Yeah, 30 is 35. I think 35 is a good amount for a no fatigue build. Because you want to move around a bit, right? If you have too low fatigue, you're gonna have some trouble for moving around. Especially in hard terrain, even with Pathfinder, you're gonna have problem moving around in the swamp, which in the Kraken will be very hard. And the Kraken got harder this DLC, and it got a lot worse. They might say that the Kraken got better in the patch note. You might get the impression that the Kraken get easier in the patch note, but nope. The Kraken got a lot worse in this DLC, and I will talk about the Kraken in another video. And also, sometimes you need the extra fatigue for the rainy days, right? Sometimes you need to move around, sometimes you need to climb hills, sometimes you need to move around in the swamp. Also, you need to break the nets, maybe break the net from the shaman and stuff like that. And also, sometimes you need to throw some nets, right? Usually, my no fatigue guy, they have quick hands and a pole weapon, so I also want to squeeze in a net for them because they have quick hand, right? It's pretty convenient. And throwing net costs how much? It costs 25 fatigue. That's a lot. If you have only say 25 fatigue or maybe 20 fatigue, you can't throw a net, right? Enemies gonna hit you and you'll lose fatigue too. So having about 30, 35, 40 is nice. By the way, for this build, I think Hyena pelt is definitely better than bone platings. I love bone platings, but I have to say that the bone platings cost 2 extra fatigue, right? That is 2 initiative points that you are losing. This one gives you 15 more initiative, and you don't lose a -2 fatigue. So and 15 initiative is 2 defense, and also you get 15 more durability. So yeah, go for heavy armor, hyena pelts, patch up HP, don't do anything with the fatigue, pump up initiative and defense and attack. That's how you make a no fatigue guy a lot better. And it is all made possible / well much better and partly possible by the Oathtakers because they can start out with 120 initiative, despite being despite being almost as good as a Hedge Knight, right? And finally, I think this is the build that benefit from this the most, is the tank. Recently, I have been using Nimble tank a lot more than Battleforge, because I just find having a ton of dodge on top of the shield wall just make you unkillable, and make you unkillable so early. It's pretty hard to find good armor for a Battleforge tank early on, so you can't really tank things like Lindworm and stuff like that. And also, you need a really good tank to tank Lindworms. But for a Nimble tank, I don't have one right now, but let's say this guy is one. For a Nimble tank, they have that extra dodge so early, and the Nimble protect them since level 11. You can be at level 11, since level 7. You can be at level 7 wearing regular armor with a heater shield and some dodge and Nimble, and you can tank Lindworm just fine. A Battleforge guy at level 7, like early game, like with no armor, like you're gonna die. So the Nimble tank, they do enjoy that extra dodge. And well, because of that, they are a lot better. They are a lot better, a lot earlier. But later on, is where the Nimble tank start to fall off, because even though the Nimble tank don't get hit as much as the Battleforge tank, because that extra defense from dodge, they can tank fewer hits, right? Against Chosen, one hit's gonna shred their armor. The second hit is gonna cut into the HP. The third hit will put them close to death, and the fourth hit will kill them. Compared to that, Battleforge tank can soak up a lot more punishment. Though Battleforge tank do have a lower defense, so normally you would need to find some really exceptional people with a very high, like 3-star melee defense or so, and a good amount to start with. They need to reach into the 45-50 range before shield to be safe, like this guy for example. He started out with so much defense and paranoid. Yeah, even with 1 star he has 45, right? Something like that. You need to find people like that to make into a Battleforge tank. But now you don't need to do that anymore. You can get the dodge from the initiative and, you know, slap that on top of all of your defense, and now your Battleforge tank can be so strong. And while you are like, and the trade-off is that you will not have a lot of fatigue, right? You will not have a lot of fatigue. So you won't be able to indom. But I haven't used indom even on tank for a while now. I don't think you need it that much. It does come in handy in some situations, but you don't need it. And you're like, oh no, if I don't have fatigue, then how do I shield wall? Well, first of all, dodge is almost like a shield wall all the times. So sometimes you don't even need shield wall against weaker enemies, but well, you can shield wall all the times, even if you don't have fatigue. Well, in my anatomist run, I have this potion, right, which reduce the fatigue cost of shield wall from 20 to 15. So yeah, I can shield wall every turn. But for a normal run, because shield wall costs 20 fatigue to do, and you recover 15 per turn, you need 5 more fatigue recovery per turn from somewhere to be able to shield wall every turn. Well, how do we get it? So let's see. Iron Lungs is +3 per turn. Well, where do I find 2 more? Well, Potion is +4. So that's yeah. So that's gonna help you. But you can't expect to find Iron Lungs on every Battleforge tank, right? Well, Flame Shields also have lower fatigue per shield wall. You just need to find one. With this potion, it's already -4, +4. You just need to find a Flame Shield that has -1 fatigue per shield wall, and then you can shield wall every turn for a tank with no fatigue, right? So yeah, you can have a tank that can shield wall every turn. Extra amount of fatigue, extra amount of defense from dodge. Yep, that's the ultimate Battleforge tank with dodge right there. And so with the normal heater shield and Lone Wolf, and dodge is giving me 17 defense. Wow. But if I max out my fatigue, that will go down though. It will go down to maybe 13, 14 or so. But still, 13, 14 is amazing. I get 119 defense. And that is not even a good tank, right? I only got 2-star defense here. I don't remember how he rolled. Probably not the best. And I don't have any stars here though. But just Hyena Potion, like, it doesn't matter too much, you know? Hyena Pelt, Cat Potion, Normal Shield, Lone Wolf, Dodge, bam. You know, that's pretty good. Right, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you find me babbling about Battle Brothers helpful, consider subscribing. And if you want to check out the run, which is still going on right now, you can follow me on Twitch. And the beginning of the run is also on YouTube. Thank you for watching. Video out. See ya.